So my 17-year-old son has been learning to drive for several months now. We've been taking him out each day and it's been pretty stressful. It's scary when our teenagers start getting behind the wheel. And today he had his driving test and guess what? He passed his test first time. He was absolutely over the moon, as was I. What an amazing achievement. But it really reminded me of that journey, the journey that we go through when we want to quit drinking, when we want to achieve something in our lives, something big. It's a real accomplishment. And there were so many aspects of that journey, from the very first time that he got behind the wheel right through to today when he passed his driving test, that were exactly the same as the journey we go on when we want to remove alcohol from our lives. You may have heard me talk before about how quitting drinking is just like learning a new skill. It's just like learning to drive. On that journey, it's never a straight line. It's never like going from point A to point B. There's always going to be bumps in the road, setbacks, moments where we wonder why we're doing it, challenges, particularly in the early weeks when we're getting to grips with the way that things are changing, trying to get used to new things in our lives, new routines, dealing with cravings, overcoming things that are causing us emotional upset. It's exactly like learning to drive. There's going to be times where we feel like giving up, times where we stall the car, maybe we even have an accident and we think about giving up, throwing the towel in, wondering why we're even bothering, questioning ourselves, wondering if we can really do it. But we can do it. We just need to keep moving forward, because every day that we move forward, every mile that we put in behind that wheel, we become stronger. We learn a little bit more. We become more confident in ourselves, and we find ourselves getting closer to that goal of completely removing alcohol from our lives. Now, of course, quitting drinking isn't a test. There is no test. I suppose in some respects, it can be a test of our resolve at times, but if we've worked on changing our beliefs about alcohol, which you'll find in some of my other videos, and we've worked on overcoming cravings and dealing with the challenging times, and we've made ourselves accountable, surrounded ourselves with the right people, then it shouldn't feel like a test. If anything, it should feel like we've just found our best hobby ever, and it becomes our new and most exciting hobby that we embrace and we get excited about, rather than feeling like it's a hassle, it's a drag, it's something that we just don't want to be doing because we've had alcohol taken away from us. We recognize that an alcohol-free life is infinitely better than a life where alcohol is interfering with everything. And in so many respects, it is exactly like learning a new skill. So when you come into it, don't expect to pass your test, your driving test, on the very first day. There's a lot to learn, and we go through that process. It happens in stages. We're going to need to find things out. We're going to need to learn new things, new ways of coping, new ways of meeting our needs without drinking, and understanding who we really are as a person, what we like in our lives, what we don't want in our lives any longer, learning to say no, learning to set boundaries. It's an incredible journey, but don't expect miracles on the very, very first day. That's not to say that there aren't some people who make a decision to stop drinking and they never drink again. It can happen, but those people are like unicorns. There's not very many of them. They're extremely rare. For most of us, it's a journey of growth, a journey of learning, a journey of understanding. But the more we do it, every day that we put one foot in front of the other, the stronger we become, the more experience we get, until we get to a point where we're doing it on our own. We're driving down that road on our own without the need for learner plates. We're free. We found complete freedom. And there are so many similarities between that journey of learning to drive from the very first time you get behind the wheel and make that decision that you want to get out on the open road on your own, right through to passing your driving test. There are so many similarities with that journey to quitting drinking. And it was only when my son passed his test that I really stepped back and thought about it, and thought how he's been on this journey over a period of months. There's been lots of setbacks, lots of bumps in the road, lots of challenges, but he's overcome them all. He kept kept going. He didn't throw the towel in. Even when things got tough and he felt like giving up, he continued. He persisted because he could see what he was going to gain if he continued. And it's exactly the same with alcohol. There's a video right next to me that you'll find really, really helpful. You can click on it now and watch it straight away. And while you're at it, click the subscribe button that's also on the screen and you can become part of this amazing YouTube community. I'll see you again on the next video very, very soon.